Canelo Alvarez sends Terence Crawford a rough and tough, mean message amidst all this chaos between the David Benavidez ducking and the Crawford ducking. Canelo's getting a lot of negative publicity coming from the media saying that, he doesn't make the interesting fights, he doesn't want to challenge. If he really wants to go down as one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time, which he already is in my opinion, he's gonna have to take some of these bigger risk fights, and maybe not the best reward for him, maybe not the most outrageous reward for him when it comes to money or recognition, because a lot of people, they understand that David Benavidez is a big name right now. But my argument for the Terence Crawford fight is, okay, you don't want to fight David Benavidez. Most likely it's off the table already because David's fighting at 75. I don't see him coming back down to 68. And for Canelo, he wouldn't go to 75. So realistically, who's a name that's kind of in the realm or kind of in the vicinity of Terence Crawford and Canelo's, weight class? They got to fight each other, right? So those are the only two big names that it's possible for, and Terence Crawford's willing to take that risk. But Canelo responded by saying, have Teofimo Lopez fight him first. That's kind of a little bit of disrespect, because ultimately, if you're telling Terence Crawford, who just fought at 54, and you have a guy like Teofimo who, is 2 weight classes below him, and Canelo is asking or telling Crawford to fight Teo first, that he deserves a fight with Teo more than he deserves a fight with Canelo. That's kind of disrespectful to Terence Crawford, and now I understand where that animosity is starting to build up from, because if Canelo is 2 weight classes above Terence Crawford and Crawford's willing to make that jump, why not give Canelo, why wouldn't Canelo give him that opportunity? I know that the Benavidez fight is the fight all the real boxing fans want to see, but realistically, we have to see how good David Benavidez turns out to be in the long run. The truth is that Terence Crawford's resume and his first ballot Hall of Fame status, that's already solidified. His legacy is already solidified in the sport. So that's a guaranteed big name for Canelo Alvarez's legacy. And I'm not saying that Canelo doesn't beat Terence Crawford, doesn't stop him. I don't know what's going to happen in that fight. Definitely saw a little bit of concern for Terence Crawford. Definitely lost a little bit of confidence in terms of him moving up in weight. I think there's a chance that there's a good chance that Canelo's going to be too big for Crawford, and we could see something like what happened to Amir Khan, where he's having a lot of success. He's a smaller fighter versus Canelo, and the speed is on point. He's very mobile around the ring. The hand speed is blindingly fast, and a great offensive fighter gets timed by one singular shot. You could be winning the entire fight, but if Canelo's able to land one paw on you, then it could be lights out for Terence Crawford, and that's something that Terence Crawford understands and he's still willing to do. So that's why, kudos to Terence Crawford for even wanting this fight, because it's very dangerous. He could get embarrassed. There's a high risk and, still a high reward for Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, and it's high risk, high reward for Terence Crawford as well. So that's why I think it's still a big fight I would like to see personally. I'm not saying that Terence Crawford's gonna cook Canelo Alvarez, because after seeing the fight with Madrimov, that showed me that size, it doesn't always play a factor. You have guys like Manny Pacquiao who are able to carry that speed, despite going up in weight, 8-division world champion. But for Terence Crawford, everybody's different, and it just seemed like him gaining weight at 54, he had a little bit more of a difficult time than a lot of people who have moved up in the past have had with the hand speed and getting off your combinations. He just didn't look as fast, didn't look as sharp, but that goes along with inactivity. And he still had a good performance, won the fight, got the W. I thought it was a pretty close and not controversial decision. I just personally thought it could have been Madrimov's fight as well, but I'd have to watch it back to really be sure about that. But in terms of Canelo and Terence Crawford, it's still a fight that I think is very big for both fighters. I feel like Canelo fighting Edgar Berlanga but not fighting Terence Crawford, it's just like, okay, Benavidez, you don't want to fight Benavidez, that's fine, but fight a notable name. And I think when it's all said and done, Canelo Alvarez would get more credit fighting a guy like Terence Crawford than, you know, he would for Benavidez. Because as good as Benavidez is, we'd have to wait still. You know, I'm not saying he's not going to be a great, you know, legendary Hall of Fame fighter in the future, but we still have to kind of wait for his career to play out. Because right now, if David Benavidez's career was, you know, over today, is he a Hall of Famer? No, but Terence Crawford, if his career was over today, he's a Hall of Famer. This is just my opinion. That's why I think, you know, if we're just talking resume-wise, and you're saying, as Canelo, you're saying that Terence Crawford, that win doesn't do anything for you, I can't agree with that. I think it would do a lot for him on his resume. That would be the biggest win on his resume. Who's his biggest win right now? Triple G? Yeah, but I think if he beat Terence Crawford, that goes down as your biggest win if you're Canelo Alvarez. So why not take the fight? If Terence Crawford is easy work, you know, you saw him against Madrimov, and you think that you could beat Madrimov easily, and Terence Crawford's easy work, why not get that bag, and why not have that big name Terence Crawford on your resume if you're Canelo Alvarez, if you're so confident? It's just, you know, I'm seeing a lot of, you know, talk from Canelo Alvarez, and I know he's a great fighter. I know he's one of the better Mexican fighters of all time. I still don't put him in that category, in that same category as, you know, Marquez, Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales. I think those guys, and Julio Cesar Chavez, those guys were like more so, forget it, I'm gonna fight everybody, and I'm gonna do it, you know, in an exciting way. Not that Canelo's not exciting, but these big fights, you know, all these former Mexican fighters, Margarito, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez, Marquez, Morales, Barrera, these guys would have jumped at the opportunity for, you know, a guy like Terence Crawford. And even if he was under their weight class, they know that, you know, these big money fights, they want to fight with the best out there. And I think, you know, Berlanga's not on his level. I think Berlanga, who's a more, you know, competitive fight, Berlanga and Canelo, or Canelo and Terence Crawford? I'd rather see Terence Crawford personally. So that just goes to show, you know, I just don't agree with Canelo when he's talking about, you know, the resume stuff, saying that this win against, if he were to fight Terence Crawford, it wouldn't do anything for him. I'm not saying he has to fight him. I'm just saying you can't say that it's easy work and then not take the fight when Terence Crawford is being so vocal. He's calling for the smoke and you're just, you know, shoving him out of the picture. I think if you really want that smoke, if you're really confident, you're going to take that fight as Canelo Alvarez. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down after that September 14th bout between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga. I expect Canelo to stop Berlanga. I think it's just all about experience and the lack thereof for Edgar Berlanga that's going to get him stopped against Canelo. Not that he's not a decent, you know, maybe a B- fighter. He's a good, you know, a good individual to watch. He's exciting. He has power, but I think that the, you know, experience of Canelo is just going to be too much for him, and I see Canelo stopping Edgar Berlanga inside of 9 rounds. So we'll see what happens. Canelo versus Berlanga. But let me know what you guys thought about Canelo saying that Terence Crawford should fight Tio first and give him that opportunity, but still not down for that Terence Crawford fight, says Canelo Alvarez. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next Nabs boxing video. But I appreciate the constant support, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
That's going to do it for another Nabs Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.